Well, how's everybody doing today? I just to be clear, I didn't plan on delivering a message today, but when it comes, I'm going to go ahead and deliver it. So I had every intention of just kind of doing a motivational Bible quote, which is what I plan on doing on Sundays. And I missed last Sunday. I just was not feeling it. Just was tired, wore out, and I feel bad I skipped over it. But anyways, that's my plan typically on Sundays, is just to do a quick motivational quote. But this message hit me, and so I'm going to go ahead and deliver it. So as you already maybe are aware if you've watched any of my lives, I've got this thing with wildlife and animals. I love seeing it, and when I do see wildlife, I immediately say thank you to God. That was a gift that I got the opportunity to see that. Small, big, no matter what it is, I love it. And so here recently, I was just looking out the door of our new house that we're at, and was about to let the dogs out, and there's this beautiful little bunny. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh, it's so cute. So of course I'm at this point not letting the dogs out, and I see my daughter walking up, so I'm like, hey Nadia, come here, check out the bunny. And so we get a chance to stand together and look at this cute little bunny. And then it's shortly after that she goes, how weird, Dad, I just grabbed my bunny socks to wear, and it's completely up to you how you want to see that. But I'm always very thankful. I see these signs as, I'm doing things in the right direction. I'm going in the right direction. And when she said that, it just really clicked with me. Like, wow, that's awesome. That's great. So then today I'm getting ready for church, and we've been moved into this house now for about 6 or 7. Justine, how you doing? So we've been moved into this house now for a little over a week. And this whole time, right, I've been focusing on trying to get things done on my business. I have not done a great job at unpacking all my boxes, which can make life difficult. One of the side effects to that is I've literally, doesn't matter what I'm wearing, I'm putting tennis shoes on because I don't know where the rest of my shoes are at. And so today I'm getting dressed up for church. And I mean, I've already had some times where you just kind of freak out and you're like, where are these shoes? I go through the garage, I go all over, I just can't find them. I'm like, that's it. So today I'm getting ready for church, and I'm like, I really don't want to get nice and dressed up and put tennis shoes on. Where are my shoes? And I just kind of felt this whisper just saying, hey, check that box, this big giant box that is in my bedroom, right? Looking from the top of it, doesn't look like my shoes are going to be in there. And you hear these whispers every now and then, and you're like, is that just some stupid voice? It's you know what I mean? You don't need to pay attention to it. Or is there something more to it, And it's easy just to kind of put those things off and go, that's crazy. Well, as crazy as it was, I go, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pull this stuff out of the box. So lo and behold, I pull everything out of the box, and what's at the bottom? All of my shoes. So I thought, that's awesome, so I put my shoes on. So another thing now, in our last house, we had just a problem with our neighbors. They both had dogs, we had dogs, and even though there were fences there, my dogs, especially the little one, would get the other 2 big ones going, and they're sitting there barking at each other at the fences and what have you. And we were really freaked out about coming here, that's going to be an issue, and how are we going to deal with that? Because we got here, and next thing you know, we see our neighbors have dogs, and we're like, oh man, not this again, and the fence companies that we contact are like 4 or 5 weeks out. So it's like, what are we going to do? We got 4 or 5 weeks before we can even get a fence, And so I'm just trying to let my dogs out the front door and not even, to hopefully avoid things. And then I went ahead and I got their electric collars set up, and which, I don't like doing, I don't want to have to shock my dogs, but to be honest, they learn very quickly. It lets them know ahead of time before it shocks them that, hey, you're in an area, back away, or you are going to get shocked. And so I set this thing up. I worked with my little girl to, kind of walk around the yard with the collars and where the best setting would be. And I tell you what, these settings, I've got a house on the left, a house on the right, and I've got this fence behind us. And just this morning, I put the collars on, and the neighbor's dog comes out, and I'm thinking my dogs are going to do the usual thing they always do, which is they're going to run up on that fence. They're going to go crazy, with that dog. It's just the little one gets them going, and then the two big ones are running over there. And I got to tell you, nothing. The dog came out. The dogs have their collars on. They just looked at the dog. They didn't even run anywhere near the fence. And I was just like, that is just absolutely amazing, And so then here I just picked up my fiance from the airport this morning. Well, if you follow her at all, you'll know she had, all these catastrophes, all these up and downs about, the flight's on, the flight's off, first class isn't first class, what have you. And, I ended up having to drive her 2 hours away to Charleston to that airport so she could catch a flight to Utah. Well, come to find out that the flight that she would have taken her to an airport that they had tons of problems at. Everybody was trapped at. On top of that, she was going to have to stay at another hotel for at least one night before she could check into the hotel that this company was going to pay for. She was going to have to rent a car that she was going to have to pay for the whole trip, which she ended up not having to do. So when this flight changed, she ended up not needing to rent a car. She didn't have to stay in an extra hotel, and she ended up going on a flight that did have first class, which she loved it, had a great time, and was able to fly right back in here to Myrtle Beach, So it's so easy to get caught up in these changes that take place in your life that you're thinking, oh, I just want to throw a fit over this. This is crazy. And I think, my message here is you have to believe. You have to understand it, that while you may not understand in your life, God does. Things happen for a reason, and they're not for your bad, but they're for your good, right? But you just have to be patient and believe and not let these unexpected changes get the best of you. So my quote that I found that I wanted to deliver today is from the book of John 20:27, and it is, then he said to Thomas, put your finger here, see my hands, reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. And so that's the thing is I guess my point is I'm here to tell you, I'm not special. Everybody's special. These things that I notice, that I talk about, that happen to me, if you're honest with yourself, they happen to you. But a lot of us choose to go ahead and put those things down and go, yeah, no, that's just another one of those coincidences. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to look further into it. God isn't just there for you in the big things in your life. He's there in the little things all the time. So many little tiny things in your life. How many times have you had food in the oven that you completely forget about, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, food's in the oven, I gotta run and get it, right? Oh, I got water boiling on the burner, I gotta go get it, oh my God, I didn't realize it's this time, I gotta go get my child at school, whatever it is, right? These reminders just pop in your head out of nowhere. And you can continue to believe that it just happens out of nowhere, or you can realize that there is a bigger power out there looking out for you. So, I think that's it. I think that's really my story for you today. Again, I thought it was also interesting. My little girl and I was thinking about this story that I wanted to tell you all, and my little girl and I are walking back from church, and that thing looked just identical. She points, hey Dad, look, it was a little bunny just like the one I was thinking of talking to you today. And when I sat down here today to give this spiel to everyone, there was this tiny little lizard on top of the chair, again, just sitting there. I see those all. I choose to see those as signs that I'm doing things right, that I'm on the right path, and that God is good. So that's my message for everybody today. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Take care. Thank you, Justine.